Welcome to this explainer. Look, if you're an Indian professional, an entrepreneur, consultant, or running your own business, you are literally witnessing the biggest technological shift since the internet came along. But here's the crazy part. Most people are completely missing the real opportunity here. They're using AI for, well, kind of basic stuff. Writing a quick email, drafting up a presentation, maybe tweaking some social media content. But the real power? Oh, it goes so much deeper than that. Today, we're going to master Agentic AI, and I'm going to show you exactly how you can build your very own AI workforce.
I want you to literally imagine waking up tomorrow morning, and while you were fast asleep, an AI had already researched your top competitors. Another AI had completely replied to your pending customer emails. A third one mocked up your social media posts. A fourth generated, say, 50 brand new sales leads. And a fifth? Well, it prepared a complete data-backed business report for your 9 a.m. meeting. No new employees hired, zero freelancers, no outsourcing, just a 24/7 autonomous digital workforce. Guys, this is not science fiction anymore. This is exactly what Agentic AI is doing right now. And the professionals who figure out how to harness this, they're going to become dramatically more productive than anyone else.
Okay, let's dive into Section 1, the evolution of AI, from rules to autonomy.
So, we have taken a massive leap in a ridiculously short amount of time. Era 1 was traditional software. Everything had to be manually programmed, right? Like, if this happens, do that. Zero actual intelligence. Then came Era 2, machine learning. This is where systems started spotting patterns. Think fraud detection or sales forecasting. And then, recently, we've all been living in Era 3, generative AI. We all know this one. ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, they generate text, images, code. But the catch? They're mostly reactive. You ask, they answer. Which brings us emphatically to Era 4, Agentic AI. This is a total game changer because now the AI can actually plan, reason, make decisions, and take action without you having to constantly hold its hand.
Moving right along to Section 2, the paradigm shift, chatbots versus AI agents.
There's this huge misconception out there. A lot of professionals think, hey, I know how to write a good prompt for ChatGPT, so I fully understand modern AI. Actually, scratch that. A chatbot is basically just a highly advanced calculator. It sits there, it waits for your instructions, it reacts, and it spits out an answer. An AI agent, on the other hand, it's like an actual employee. You give it an objective and actively pursues it. It takes action, it completes the task. A chatbot just answers your questions, but an AI agent gets the actual work done. And honestly, once you make that mental shift from thinking calculator to thinking employee, the entire world of AI just blows wide open for you.
Let's break down how this actually happens in Section 3, the AI agent loop, how digital workers operate.
Every successful AI agent out there follows this continuous automated cycle. Let's say you give your agent a specific goal, like generate 100 qualified business leads. First, it perceives its environment. It goes out, researches companies, scans websites. Then it thinks. It reasons about who the right decision makers actually are. Next, it acts by drafting and sending out those personalized outreach messages. After that, it observes what were the open rates, who actually replied. And finally, it improves its future messaging based entirely on those real-world results. And the best part? It just keeps repeating this loop completely on autopilot.
But here's the thing. To actually take action, an agent needs tools. Without tools, your AI is basically just trapped inside a little chat window. But when you give an agent access to tools, I'm talking the ability to search the live internet, access your company databases, fire off emails on your behalf, or even update your CRM system, you are completely transforming raw intelligence into real-world action. You're turning a simple chat interface into a fully functioning operations manager. You're giving it the power to literally execute your business operations.
Which brings us to Section 4. Demystifying the brain, translating AI jargon for business.
Now I know, if you've been reading up on AI lately, you've probably slammed right into a massive wall of technical jargon that feels, quite frankly, totally overwhelming. But don't worry, I am going to translate that developer speak into super simple, practical business concepts. You absolutely do not need to be a software engineer to get this. For example, embeddings. That's just how AI understands the meaning of words mathematically. It knows that car and automobile mean the same thing. A vector database. That's simply where the AI stores that knowledge so it can search through it later. RAG is basically handing the AI the keys to your private company filing cabinet. And MCP is just a universal USB port for AI. Let's actually double-click on a couple of these because they are absolute game changers for your business.
So let's talk about RAG, Retrieval Augmented Generation. This is crucial. Without RAG, an AI can only give you answers based on the public stuff it was trained on, which could be months or even years out of date. But with RAG, you are giving the AI secure, direct access to your fresh, private company data, your internal SOPs, your research papers, your company policies. This dramatically boosts accuracy because now the AI is reasoning based on your actual, real-time business realities, not just a bunch of random info from the public internet.
And then we have MCP, or Model Context Protocol. Before MCP came along, if you wanted your AI to talk to your email, then your CRM, and then your database, you had to build a custom, highly complicated integration for every single tool. It was a nightmare. MCP acts as this brilliant, universal plug-and-play standard. It totally removes the headache of custom integrations and lets your AI connect seamlessly to all your business apps. It's basically the foundational layer that makes enterprise AI entirely possible without needing some massive, expensive IT team. And, of course, none of this works efficiently without memory. I mean, think about it. Human intelligence relies heavily on memory, right? Well, the exact same is true for AI. If your AI agent doesn't have memory, it's starting from absolute scratch every single morning, probably making the exact same mistakes over and over. But when you implement short-term, working, and semantic memory, your digital worker actually remembers past interactions, it learns from previous tasks, and it just continuously improves its performance day after day.
All right, let's look at Section 5, the Corporate AI Workforce, Multi-Agent Systems.
So, a multi-agent system perfectly mimics a real corporate team. You aren't just relying on one single AI trying to juggle everything, no way. You have a specialized research agent that goes out and finds market trends. It then hands that data off to a marketing agent who writes the perfect copy. Then that agent hands it over to a sales agent who executes the outreach, all while an operations agent sits there tracking the metrics. They collaborate on incredibly complex projects across departments, completely seamlessly. And let me tell you, forward-thinking organizations are already running these collaborative digital workforces right now to slash costs and scale up their output incredibly fast.
Finally, let's wrap up with Section 6, the future and your roadmap, thriving in an AI economy.
I know that looking at all of this rapid change can trigger a bit of anxiety about job security. Let's just be real about that. But let's address the future directly. The absolute biggest mistake you can make right now is sitting there thinking, AI is going to take my job. AI isn't here just to replace you. The reality is that professionals who learn how to manage and deploy these AI agents are going to vastly outcompete and outperform the folks who insist on doing everything the old manual way. The future does not belong to AI itself, it belongs to the AI-augmented professional. The biggest risk here isn't the tech, the biggest risk is simply being unprepared for it.
So, how do you actually get prepared? Well, you follow a structured path. Here is a proven 10-week roadmap. And again, you do not need a background in software engineering for this. You just start simple. In week 1, you get comfortable with large language models and prompting. Then you systematically move through agents, tools, RAG, and vector databases. By week 8, you're understanding MCP. Week 9, you're grasping multi-agent systems. And by week 10, you are actually deploying real functioning business solutions. Mastery is entirely achievable, guys. You just have to take it one step at a time.
Because the AI revolution isn't something that's coming in a few years. It is already here, right now. And it leaves you with a very clear, very provocative choice about where your career is heading. Are you going to take control, learn these technologies, and build your own AI workforce? Or are you going to wait on the sidelines until these skills become mandatory and run the risk of being replaced by someone who didn't wait? So please, don't just be a passive user of AI. Be a builder of AI workforces. If you are an Indian professional, an entrepreneur, or a student ready to seize this absolute historic technological shift, you need to start your learning journey today. Head over to AISkillAce.com for practical training and real implementation support. And definitely make sure to subscribe to AI with Srikanchan to join thousands of other professionals who are actively preparing for the AI-powered future before it becomes the new normal. Thank you so much for joining me in this explainer, and hey, I'll see you in the future of work.